growing up and playing sports like basketball and baseball and soccer, I had a lot of coaches. And we get coaches for a lot of things in our lives. We get financial coaches, marriage coaches, time management coaches, personal trainers, but most people have never thought about having a culture coach.
Right. Culture coach. This is one of my favorite things, culture coaches. Now, what is a culture coach, right? What the heck is that? Never heard of it before. Here's our idea of a culture coach, and that is someone who's willing to train you and to teach you about all of these things culturally that you may have questions about a specific culture, but helping you learn in an environment that's conducive to you moving forward as a cultural relationship expert, if you will, within this. So it's really great to have someone safe, a safe relationship to go to. You can ask your questions, you can put your foot in your mouth, and you can have someone help you process the cultural sensitivities and the cultural environments in your life. This is really helpful with worship leaders. With worship leaders, let's just say, for instance, you're a 20-something young white worship leader who's used to leading in a monocultural white environment. Well, let's say the African American church down the street loves what you do and wants to invite you to their service to lead worship.
That's pretty awesome.
Now, you may not know that you may not be able to show up in your skinny jeans, your chucks, and your t-shirt.
Right. That would not be probably a very good situation.
Right. But if you're mostly in a monocultural environment, you don't even know this. And so to have someone in your life that you see as a culture coach for you, that you could ask these things to
get that
huge.
Insider information. So
absolutely.
I'm headed to this African American church to lead worship, and I call my culture coach a few days ahead, and I say, what do I need to know?
Right.
And then I give them the opportunity to speak into my life. But then I go to the church, I have this worship experience, and I probably hear things and see things that are unfamiliar to me. And I want to make those quick judgments about what they mean, but I'm smart enough to know I probably shouldn't judge it right at the top. So I take those back to my culture coach, and I ask, what does this mean in your cultural context?
And they can help you process through these things, just like a regular coach would do in any of these other areas of our life. This helps our cultural proficiency.
And what's cool about culture coaches is not only do we need to find them, but we can also have the opportunity to be that for someone else. Because we've all got a culture. We've all got to come from.
That's right.
And if I'm willing to think about somebody outside my culture, what they might need to know about my culture, and then be generous with that information, I can be a culture coach for someone else.
Absolutely. And there's no application process. You don't have to have a doctorate. You don't have to have training in cultural diversity, nothing, in order to be a culture coach. Extend that grace to someone else. So there are two things. There are two things about culture coaches. One, find safe relationships. Find people that you can speak what you need to speak, ask the questions you need to ask, help them train you and coach you. And the second thing is this: be generous with your life and your culture, and become a culture coach for someone else in your community, your environment.